And today I have three of our fantastic solution providers to talk to you a little bit about their small business success as well as Small Business Week. So I will let them each introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Craig Yaris.
Hi, thanks, Kristen. My name is Craig Yaris. I am an authorized local expert and accredited solution provider with Constant Contact. My business, Social Ribbit, is a digital marketing agency. We handle clients' needs in social media, website design, SEO, SEM, graphic design if necessary, and we are thrilled to be here today. Thanks so much for including me.
Fantastic. So, Michael.
All right. My name is Michael Neuendorff, and I'm in Northern California, just south of San Francisco. And I am a solution provider and authorized local expert, similar to Craig. I've been partnering with Constant Contact now for probably around 4 years. I love to use the products myself as a way to grow my own business. I own two businesses. The one that partners with Constant Contact is called Speak Well and Sell, and is an online marketing consultancy. But I also work with people in large corporations down to small businesses on public speaking. So the Speak Well and Sell is about not just marketing, but also speaking.
Fantastic. And last but not least.
Hello, Kristen. My name is Romona Foster. I am a social media trainer and consultant. I specialize in LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I teach some Google Plus and Pinterest as well. I'm also a Constant Contact local, authorized local expert. I've been with Constant Contact for a little over 2 years. So I actually go out, do email marketing training as well as my social media training. And thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Thank you all for joining me. So we actually created a survey about small businesses and how they look at then and now. So 5 years ago versus now, what it was like to own a small business then and now. So we'll just go over a little bit of that data as well as trying to get your experience as well and how you feel about what we've learned. So Craig, we'll start with you. So 59% of our surveyed small business owners said it's harder to run a business now than it was 5 years ago. Do you agree?
I actually don't agree. I think with the tools available to small business owners today, it's actually easier for them to get noticed, to be heard, to extend their reach. I'm a big fan of social media and its ability to connect people that you probably wouldn't be able to connect with before.
I can definitely see that. Does anybody have a counter argument?
No, I do not.
You agree?
I totally agree. It's much easier.
Well, I also agree with Craig that when I consider that question, I don't think that it's harder. Where I think there might be a different opinion on the question is that it may be more complex. I think that the business environment is becoming increasingly with more and more competition. The online tools make it easier for us, and yet it also makes it more complicated for us to keep up with things and the increasing change. So that's where I think people made that answer, but I might disagree.
Absolutely. I think that that's one of the biggest things is social media is fantastic. There's so many options, but I do think that it's probably a little overwhelming for people who are focusing on their business to try to understand the everyday changes of social media. So I can definitely see both sides myself. Okay, so with that, Michael, 84% of them said that they use more online marketing tools than they did 5 years ago. What tools do you use now that you didn't use then, and how does it impact your business?
Well, I have had my business for almost 5 years. 5 years ago, I was working for a large corporation, and they were just starting to get hip to online marketing and social media at that time and doing webinars and so forth. So when I first started the business, the first thing that I added was email marketing because I believe it's a good policy to always start building your list right from the get-go. So I started with that, and then I went to LinkedIn, and Facebook, and then Twitter came probably almost 2 years later. So some of these tools I definitely wasn't using 5 years ago when I started the business, but I'm using them much more now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Twitter and tools like Hootsuite.
Yes, absolutely. Hootsuite's one of my favorites, especially as dabbling in social media all day long. It saves so much time. What about the two of you? What did you start with?
I started with email marketing as well, and then I slowly moved into social media, not because I wanted to, but because I had clients who asked me to help them with their Facebook pages, and then finally I realized that that was something that I needed to do. So then I moved into, I think I began with Facebook and then LinkedIn.
Yeah, I think that's really the best part about all of it is that social media, if you actually go in and do it, even personally, it helps you to explain it to others, and it also helps you to understand how it can help your business.
Right.
So Craig, what did you start with?
Well, actually, I started my business about 4 years ago after leaving another company that did absolutely nothing digitally. We were lucky we had a website. And so I
I'm sure.
Yeah. And so I jumped in really with both feet. I started with email marketing and Facebook at the same time, added Twitter very quickly because I was enamored with the tools out there. And so I jumped into everything at once. I began with I think it was called the Facebook Success Summit, one of Mike Stelzner from Social Media Examiner's programs way back when. And there was no build-up. It just all was at the same time. I love tools like Hootsuite. I use Hootsuite all the time. I use Buffer app. Been using it for about a year now. Sprout Social, they're all tools that I recommend to every client I deal with.
Absolutely.
Because they make it easy.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the biggest things is that a lot of people feel overwhelmed because they don't have enough time, and there are so many tools that they don't even start to figure out one. And I think that that's such a good thing to tell everyone is pick one, and it'll save you time, and you'll begin to love it because we all do, and we do it all the time. So it's a great time saver. So a little bit on small businesses themselves. So a lot of people say that they feel that being locally owned is even more important now than it was 5 years ago. Romona, do you feel that that's true? Do you feel the local love?
I sure do. Actually, I kind of started out my business as a virtual assistant type thing. So I was doing business with people in various states. And then eventually when I started doing the social media training, I realized I really needed to focus on my target market, which was in the area. And I definitely feel like people are really embracing me now as a trainer in the area, and also have coined me the local expert in social media. I'm told quite often that they don't know anyone else in the area that does what I do. So I get a lot of calls and a lot of emails requesting my services, so definitely.
That's a great title.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any local feelings?
Well, I don't think that it's more important, in my opinion. I think it's continually important, and I have several clients that own local stores that are not part of large chains, and I think that's important too, that you have a unique identity, you're an independent business owner, you're a family-owned business, and that's as important as it ever was, and maybe becoming more because there are larger and larger conglomerates that seem to be taking over businesses.
And I think you end up being focused on local business because you're networking and you're meeting people in your area all the time.
Right.
So for my local constituent, I'll do anything for local people. If I can help somebody grow their business, I'm in, regardless of where they are, but we tend to be focused more locally. So I probably agree with that.
Awesome. So I have an interesting question. I guess first of all, do any of you have other people that work for you in your business? Are you all solely by yourself?
Independent. Yes, independent.
I have. No.
Go ahead, Craig.
I have consultants that I work with all the time. They're not necessarily direct employees, but they are people that I work with that I trust, that I know do the work up to my standards.
I have one full-time employee.
Awesome. So you guys are kind of all over the place with that. So interestingly, 56% of the people that we surveyed said that they do not plan to hire in the next 6 months. Obviously, you guys don't have many employees, so what do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on that? Why do you think that is?
Well, if I could start, I think it's because the economy is slowly starting to improve, and we already recognized that last year, and so therefore some hiring may have already happened, and now we want to wait and see what's going to happen throughout the rest of this year because we're cautious. You know, we made some bets on an improving economy last year, and now we want to see those come through and the economy continue to improve.
That absolutely makes sense. Does anybody else have any thoughts on it?
I think probably for myself, I probably will actually need to hire someone within the next 6 months. I find that because I'm going out and I'm doing so much training now that I actually need help advertising the events online and that type of thing. So I do see myself looking for a virtual assistant very soon.
It's a great problem to have.
Yeah, and also one of the good things is are the partnerships. So I partner with different training facilities, so that really helps to alleviate some of the burden that's on me. As far as advertising, they have their own list, so we all actually get the word out about the event, so that really helps.
That's great.
Yeah. I'm actually in the same position as Romona. I think I'm going to be hiring somebody within the next few months, whether virtual or not, just to take some of the load to spread it around. The marketing end of it, I agree.
That's great. So I have one more question for you guys before I'll just kind of let you talk about Small Business Week, which just passed, and how you guys enjoyed that and what you learned. But we'll start with Craig. So more than half of the small businesses surveyed said that the economy would be the biggest impact on small businesses in the next 5 years. So what do you think will affect your business the most in the next 5 years?
That's an excellent question. And I'm not sure there's an easy answer to it. Being in marketing, it seems to be one of the areas that businesses cut the quickest for whatever reason. And I do believe that as the economy improves, marketing will improve, and therefore my business will grow even further. I've seen just this year alone a marked uptick in the number of clients and potential clients reaching out for assistance, training, strategy. So I'm very optimistic over the next few years, actually.
That's fantastic. Michael, what do you think will affect your business?
Well, I actually think that one of the things that will be most important to me over the next 5 years will be not only to expand the team. I'm not looking to hire someone in the next 6 months, but I certainly would like to maybe in the next year, and moving more into the role of developing people and making money through other people as opposed to myself, and perhaps starting to specialize in a few areas. You know, you noticed that when Romona introduced herself, she told you which social network she specializes in. And what she does. Between my two businesses, I probably offer too many different services, which has been good, and it certainly makes it possible for me to gain clients quicker. But over the next 5 years, I'll probably actually want to trim down the portfolio and specialize and grow those specific areas.
That's great. Romona?
And I feel like what will affect my business the most in the next 5 years is what direction social media goes in. I'm really excited as I see like the various platforms growing. But in my mind, I can't really imagine how they will evolve. But I'm looking forward to the next wave of whatever's coming about. But I feel like that's really going to impact my business in some way, and I believe that it's going to be something really positive, and I'm excited just to see, what direction each platform goes in.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great point, Ramona, is that a lot of people say, social media, just like anything, will eventually go away. And I think that things don't necessarily go away. They develop and they morph into something else.
Right.
So I agree. It will be very interesting to see where this whole world goes. And the most important thing, too, about marketing in general, as Craig was saying about how, it's one of the first things that are pushed away, I feel like in the next 5 years, people are going to find it more and more important, and it's going to be one of those things that aren't necessarily going away quite as quickly as other things. At least I think that's all of our hopes.
Right.
It definitely is.
So let's just talk a little bit about Small Business Week. It just passed this past week, June 17th to the 21st. And I know a couple of you actually presented during Small Business Week, and some of you just actually went to events. So I'd love to hear just a little bit about your experience, if you learned anything, how you felt the week went. Craig, I will actually start with you.
Oh, man.
Come on, Craig.
You know what? I attended 2 events. I did not have one to present at, but one of the events I went to had an amazing turnout. Both events had good turnouts, actually. And it's great to see small business owners looking to embrace some of these tools where previously I think they may have just hoped they could get by without them. So I think it's a really great thing to see people coming together and more importantly, I think looking to help each other grow their businesses.
Absolutely.
So,
what were the events on that you went to? What were the topics?
Well, one of them was a group topic. We had financing, how to grow your business with dollars if necessary, how to obtain loans. It was covered with, combined with, social media, email marketing, and we also had a score presented it as well about the importance and the really how not overwhelming a business plan is. And the other one was the whole social media email marketing, and I'll call it business passion.
I like that.
I don't know another way to describe it. It's basically don't just get mired down in your business, but be passionate about the whole business, and that'll help the business grow. So they were 2 great events.
That's fantastic. Ramona, I know you got a chance to actually present during Small Business Week, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I did. I started the week off on Monday with one of the Constant Contact Grow Your Business events. We had an awesome turnout. The people are really hungry for the information, finding out more about how to integrate email marketing with social media. It even turned out to be a really great networking event. I actually taught 3 classes on Monday. I did the Constant Contact event in the morning. I did an online marketing class later that afternoon, and then in the evening I did an event called Discover the Power of Twitter, tweet-a-thon style. And I actually had a few of the people who attended the morning Constant Contact session follow me through all 3 events.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And then Wednesday and Thursday, I taught a Facebook boot camp, and then I did a LinkedIn boot camp on Thursday. So just the people are just hungry for the information. It just amazes me how interested people are in learning about social media, and it even amazes me how many people are not knowledgeable about it for as long as it's been out. There are so many people that are just now learning and just now diving into it. So it was awesome. The networking was great. you know, the people were so appreciative and they're very excited. I've had people send me messages on Facebook, look what I've done, you know, send LinkedIn messages, calling me about how to get their email marketing started. So it was great.
That's fantastic.
Excellent.
Do you feel like it was a little bit busier that week because it was Small Business Week, or you just think it was normal?
It was definitely busier. It was
That's
definitely
fantastic.
busier. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So Michael, I know that you actually got a chance to not only present but actually close out the week for your region. So how did that go?
Well, it was really great, actually. I was able to squeeze in an event right at the end. We have a great partnership with the Microsoft store here in Northern California. And I had a call from Dan Nomek, who runs the store in Santa Clara, California, which is right in the heart of Silicon Valley. And he had asked me a month ago if we could pull off an event on Friday night during Small Business Week. And I said, well, Dan, we have less than 1 month. You want to hold it on a Friday night, which is not a time when we usually hold free events. We're competing with a lot of other social events on a Friday night. And he said, yeah, I know, but I really want to blow it out. I want to give away some things and provide food and beverage and make it as much of a party as it is an educational event. And I said, well, if you're in, I'm in, and I'd definitely like to do it, but I'd like you to raise the stakes a little bit. Can you give away something really good like a computer? And he said, well, I don't think I can do that. I don't have budget for that. Well, when it came down to it, he actually gave away a Surface Pro, which is $900. Yeah, and I can tell you that people were very excited about the potential of winning that brand new computer. And my style is to actually do 2 presentations when I partner with Constant Contact. Is I do one of theirs and one of mine. And so I did Social Media Marketing Made Simple, which is the beginner's introduction to social media marketing for small businesses. And then I added on a brand new presentation called the 12 Do's and Don'ts of Social Media that I wanted to just piggyback onto the end, because I always like to create something new and fresh. And it went really well. Just as Romona said, people really are hungry for education. No matter how many times I've taught that basic class, I'm still surprised at how many people still find it really refreshing and new and informative and helpful. And we had probably around 35 or 40 people. The feedback was really good. There was good energy in the air. I do think it was busier because it was Small Business Week. I think that had a lot to do with it, that people wanted to participate in a Small Business Week event, and they had that chance on Friday night. And there was one guy who won that Surface, and he was very excited to have come out.
That's great. So I think that there are 2 key takeaways from this. And one is that if you're a marketer, that even though it seems like it's been out there forever, even though you feel like you've been saying the same thing over and over again, there's still a hunger for what you have to say and what you want to teach. And I think for small businesses who feel like, oh, I'm already out of the game, there's no reason for me to try now, you're not alone. There are so many people out there who are trying to learn this, and there are a lot of people out there who are here to train you, like these solution providers who are out there in your area to help you with what you're doing. So I want to say thank you so much for all of you for joining me. This has been a fantastic hangout. And we will make sure to include the link to the infographic of the statistics we were talking about with all of these promotions. And thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen, and it's a pleasure meeting all of you.
Yeah,
Yes, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you all, and I really appreciate being on this hangout. This is my first hangout.
Michael.
Yeah,
And
see? And then now you guys will be able to teach about Hangout because you've done
Right, exactly. We're experts now.
that. All right. Well,
Right.
thank you guys so much. You have a great day, and hope to see you
Okay.
soon.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
do the
Take
same.
care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.